Welcome to the Let It Fly show inside the wonderful Let It Fly Sports Bar in the Capital District. I am Michael Severe, joined by my partner Josh Jones, of course, Central High School, the Eagles, and also Creighton, longtime member of the community here known as North Omaha as well.
Yeah.
I was told earlier when I was talking to Johnny Rogers,
Uh-huh.
I said, Johnny, I'm going to introduce you. Say, you're from North Omaha, you do all that stuff. And I gave him this whole thing. At the end, he goes, oh, you didn't mention I played basketball too.
I know, I heard that.
I'm like, what?
Hey, did he really? He used to hoop?
He played everything at school, but he was drafted by the Dodgers coming out of high school, so he played baseball.
Okay.
Obviously, he went to Nebraska.
Okay.
And he was a hell of a track athlete.
I did not
But
know
Johnny
he
Rogers
hooped, though.
and basketball.
I didn't know he hooped.
This is what I always say. One of my greatest lines I ever heard from a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Randy Moss was talking about playing basketball in high school, right?
Uh-huh.
And they'd be like, no, Randy was pretty good in high school. And the one dude said, we all were good in high school.
Oh, man.
Because the highest level athletes,
Yeah.
they may have been great defensively,
For sure.
but they were good because they were amazing athletes.
Yeah, no doubt.
But no, of course,
so that
Johnny
means
was
he
good.
can play. I told you my Johnny Rogers basketball story, didn't I?
I don't think so.
Community All-Star game. We out there for fun and charity, man.
He's not for fun and
He
charity,
out there
bro.
forearm checking, fouling. Like, he was going hard.
Yeah.
And, bro, this was like 4 years ago.
Oh, I believe it. The last thing you ever want to do is get into a competitive environment
with a Heisman Trophy
Johnny
winner.
the Jet Rogers.
Yeah, right. Well,
because
him.
he'll never. So
Yeah.
he plays pickleball.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, he's a huge pickleball fan. And he won. He and his daughter are going against these guys I know, right? These other guys are going against. And the one guy felt kind of bad because they were beating him in the first game.
Yeah.
So he told Johnny, he's like, Johnny, the issue is, when we hit to her side, you're coming up and you're leaving this hole.
Yeah.
And so Johnny's like, oh. So he changes everything up.
Yeah.
And they end up winning.
Right.
Johnny's competitive, bro.
Yeah.
I can't explain to you how competitive Johnny is.
Yeah. No,
And
he still got it.
He tells everybody I see, I won the city championship for pickleball.
I didn't know that.
Everywhere he goes, he tells me about it.
Hey, pickleball is like the new thing. It's so new and popular that have y'all ever seen it on ESPN?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, bro.
And it's like it's former tennis players out there playing pickleball.
Man.
I saw McEnroe out there playing pickleball.
Man.
I grew up a tennis player. I grew up playing tennis my whole life. My sister was a tennis player. Taught me how to play when I was a little kid. I don't dislike pickleball. I think it's fine. It's fine. I have nothing against it. Do not come at me, pickleball people.
Right.
But you still got to have tennis courts.
For sure.
And the pickleball people are mad because we still have tennis courts. It's not like everybody stopped playing tennis.
No, not at all.
You have millions of
you
people
still got
play
Coco.
tennis. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if
and
you
others
did.
locally too.
I'm a racquetball guy.
Yeah, I never played racquetball.
Yeah.
No.
And so
I never
just
played racquetball.
hit it off the wall. But the thing is, the only reason why I was a
Racquetball
racquetball
gets
guy
violent.
is because when I was at the Y growing up,
Yep.
people would be on the court. It wasn't my time to play. And so I just roam around trying to find something to do. And I just start, playing racquetball by myself.
The difference between growing up in the South and the Midwest or the North is we could go outside any day, whenever.
For sure.
It might be raining.
Yeah.
It might be really hot.
But you still go outside.
But it's never snowing.
Right.
It's never that. So we didn't do a lot of indoor stuff.
Yeah.
We just
No
didn't.
doubt.
We always were outside doing stuff. But I love watching racquetball because people be throwing each other to the wall.
I'm not saying I'm good. I'm just saying it was available.
It was available, so you played it.
It was available, y'all.
I remind you every week, you're looking for an upscale sports bar. If you're looking for great food, if you're looking for great views.
I got this menu in front of me.
Everything, you come here to Let It Fly in the Capital District. I want to remind you what's happening in the next couple of days. So Friday night, you've got Nebraska volleyball versus Michigan State, the still undefeated Nebraska volleyball team. You have the Creighton volleyball pink out.
Yep.
That's always a
great time.
Amazing event. That's versus Georgetown. Then Saturday, you've got college football all day.
Yeah.
Come hang out.
Best
you've got
college football season in the last 5 years for me.
It'd be so good if this was the year they started with the expanded playoff.
For sure. Oh my gosh.
It'd be amazing.
It would.
Nebraska volleyball versus Penn State at 7. You can check that out. Sunday, NFL all day. Brunch is from 10 to 4. a.m. to 4. Creighton volleyball versus Villanova at 1. And then, of course, as we talked about before, industry night, the night for folks to be able to go out who work in the industry, come on out, 9 to close. You can reserve a table as well.
Yep.
What you got? What you
Man, I was just looking through this because I was literally hungry. And then we just coincidentally had a show.
Yes. I got it.
I'm going to roll with this Meat Lovers. I mean,
pizza?
You can't lose with a Meat Lovers pizza, bro.
Pizza. It's a solid pizza.
Pepperoni. Is it soppressata?
It's the cheese.
Yeah, there you go. And then the salami and the sweet sausage, yo.
That sounds good, man.
Yeah, I ate it. I ate it and was hooked. And I'm still wings is my favorite. But if I gotta go to something else that's not a steak or wings, I'm gonna do that meat lovers pizza. You feel me?
For me this week, I'm gonna go with something really simple. Because it's kind of getting colder outside.
Yeah,
it's
no
dark
doubt.
today and everything. So
I know where you're going with this.
Homemade chili here.
I knew you was going there.
It's a solid chili.
You can't lose
Got
with that.
beans in it, onions.
Yeah.
You can put some sour cream if you like it. I'm not a huge sour cream guy.
Right. I am.
I'm not. And
Why not?
I'm also a little prejudiced.
Yeah.
I do not like yellow cheese. I'm a white cheese guy. I don't like yellow cheese.
Like American cheese.
Like, no. Like provolone.
Oh, okay.
I love provolone. I like a good mustard cheese.
Word.
But something about cheddar, it's so sharp.
Yeah.
That it takes the taste of everything.
Yeah.
If you put cheddar on something, like especially a hamburger, I'm like, well, I can't taste the burger.
Now I like all cheese, but kind of like to piggyback off what you're saying. Sometimes, like I'm just so used to getting what I get.
Yeah.
When I try something new, I'm like, man, I ain't know Swiss cheese hit like this.
Hey,
you know,
if I eat a ham sandwich, it's got to have Swiss cheese on it.
For sure.
That's my favorite.
My wife
if I
the
get
same.
roast beef, I like melted provolone on it.
Yeah, no doubt.
I like pepper jack.
Yeah.
I just don't like cheddar for some reason.
That's cool. Probably because it's typical. You're not a typical.
It's just so strong for me.
Okay.
And my wife loves extra sharp cheddar. So on one side of the refrigerator, extra sharp cheddar.
Sound like my house.
On this side of this refrigerator, everything else.
Yeah.
That's for me. And
sound like my house too.
Doesn't eat chili at all. Doesn't eat cheese at all.
Man, my son my son is 4, gonna be 5.
Yeah.
He's finally eating. He's eating eggs now. The texture he ain't like.
Yeah.
He still don't want ketchup. He want a plain burger, bro.
Really?
I'm trying to get him.
Ketchup?
I'm like, dude, you are losing.
He'll get that way.
He's losing.
You know what the best thing for little kids
he good
is,
though? What's that?
Is that the string cheese.
No,
I love to watch a little kid
He'll eat that.
go after string cheese.
He'll eat that
and be pulling it apart. It's just the
and when
funniest thing to watch.
I like make him toast or something, it's like he won't eat it unless it's cut.
Does it matter which way it's cut?
Yes, straight down the middle, not diagonal.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. You know,
I tried to cut it diagonal. He was like, this don't taste the same.
One of the best things. I don't know if you guys watch Marvel movies, the Avengers.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm
a Marvel fan.
In Miss Marvel, when they were trying to figure out,
I didn't see Miss Marvel though.
Okay, it's
I'm gonna be honest.
pretty good. In Miss Marvel, they're trying to figure out whether or not Samuel L. Jackson's character is really him or if he's one of the aliens.
Word.
And he says, "I can't eat my sandwich if it's sliced diagonally."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, that's kind of a weird thing." And if you go back, there's a scene in one of the movies where they're at Hawkeye's house and he's eating a sandwich and it's cut that way.
Dang.
Like they're following the timeline.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
It's pretty cool.
Because people will fact check you too.
They will.
And, hey, this is random. You know, in some of the all of the Disney movies, if you pay attention, there'll be other upcoming Disney movies.
They will give you teasers.
Yeah, so I feel that.
Have you ever noticed? Have you ever noticed this? This is not a secret. People know this.
What's that?
You ever noticed in the Disney movies, all the mamas got some back?
I knew you was gonna say that.
You ever noticed that?
I did. I have noticed that.
Do.
Yeah. I'm
it's
looking,
like
we out here looking at cartoons.
If you look it up, though, there's a whole website about how Disney draws moms.
Disney know what they do.
Disney be drawing mom and always hit me.
Yeah.
I like that. I got no problem with that. Oh, one more thing about Let It Fly.
Yeah.
Madden tournament. Remember I mentioned that to you before?
Yeah,
Madden tournament starts October 24th.
That's what's up.
So if you want to enter,
cash prize, right?
32 teams, $100 entry fee.
Yep.
Take away a bunch of money.
Man.
Exclusive giveaways, food and drink specials as well.
That should be lit.
Go on to the website, look it up, sign up today if you want to do that.
Yep.
Here's what we got on the show today.
Yeah.
So it's bye week for Nebraska, so we're gonna look at some of the stats.
Yep.
Because it's halfway. 6 games left.
Yeah.
6 games already gone. So we'll look at some of the stats.
What do you think so far about the games that's already been played?
Well, I'm going to finish what we're teasing. So not just that, we're also going to have Thomas Fidone on to come on and talk. He is, of course, the second leading receiver for Nebraska right now.
He was a beast in high school.
3 timeouts. He was incredible over there at Lewis Central.
Yep.
But we'll have him on as well, and we'll chat with him. For me, the biggest thing about Nebraska football so far through the first 6 games is the lack of finishing. They start drives fine. They can't finish drives. So here's a stat for you.
Okay.
Nebraska's crossed the opponent's 50-yard line versus the 4 Power 5 teams they played.
Yeah.
They've crossed it 24 times. If you cross the 50-yard line, at least half the time, you should get some points.
Yeah.
Right? Nebraska, 15 times out of the 24, 0 points.
Tough.
Only 9 times did they get points. Only 6 times did they get touchdowns. The reason is 7 turnovers, 1 punt, game ended 1 time, and 3 missed field goals.
You think if we started with a different quarterback from the jump, it'd be different results?
No, because this is consistent.
Right.
So I mentioned it's just Power 5 teams, right? So we're talking against Michigan, Minnesota, Illinois.
No matter who
they played so far in Power 5,
this
is against them. And yes, I will say that in Jeff Sims, in the first couple games, he had his share of turnovers, obviously, right? And they didn't do, but even the Illinois game. So Nebraska wins the game.
Right.
They play okay, but still they fail inside the 10 or inside the 20 3 times.
Dang, man.
3 times they failed. You had a missed field goal and you had 2 fumbles.
Right.
So that's something it's got to happen. But look at this versus non-power teams.
Right.
So they played Louisiana Tech and Northern Illinois. 2 non-power 5 teams. 12 times they crossed the 50. 9 TDs. Only 3 times did they have no points.
Dang.
2 punts and a missed field goal. So the level of competition obviously matters.
Right.
But this offense is just struggling.
When you talk about level of competition, I'm kind of scared because it's only going to get worse.
Kind of.
You know?
Because Northwestern is a mess.
Yeah, but they just so...
I tell people all the time, and I grew up watching SWAC football.
Yeah.
Bands are the best. Halftime is the best. But if you're in a fourth quarter game against a SWAC team and you are a Power 5 team, you're probably in trouble.
That's true.
Howard scored 13 points in the fourth quarter and was right there at the end with Northwestern.
Right.
Northwestern had to get a field goal to stop Howard from getting the ball back.
Yeah.
That's concerning.
I was just looking at it like playing to your level of competition.
Sure.
And then maybe like they're gonna get up for this Husker game. The thing is, the thing I say about Nebraska is, despite of no matter the records, I feel like everybody still put respect on Nebraska's name for who the university is. And
they used to be.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
And so when they play them, they still walk around like we gotta come with it. We playing Nebraska. You know, so I think that's what I think about Northwestern.
And it's certainly a possibility because Northwestern has this thing against Nebraska, the battle for the NU. Who's the real NU, right?
Yeah.
So there is that thing. I just don't think personally Northwestern has the bodies, the guys this season. They're just in bad shape. And then you got Michigan State team. Obviously had to fire their coach. They're kind of in a mess. They're a mess. Purdue is really shaky. I don't know what Purdue is really. And then you have a Maryland team that's playing pretty well.
The way you're talking, man, it sounds like a bowl game.
I think they win 3-. I think they win 3 to less 6.
It sounds like a bowl game to me. And the thing is, I'll say this, regardless of obviously we all as Husker fans want winning now, but I think Matt Rule is doing his job. Like slowly but surely, I think they'll come along. That'd
be good to see.
Yeah, we need some 5 stars. Just give us 3.
Well, they certainly need
give us 3.
more talent.
Yeah.
Right? And there's an argument always that everybody needs more talent.
Yeah.
If you take the guys you have, right, you got to be able to win with them.
Facts.
So it's like the Niners are over here right now.
Yeah.
So Brock Purdy, right?
Right.
Accomplished quarterback in college. Remember, Iowa State, he did some great stuff. Brock Tober was wonderful. Last pick of the draft.
Yeah.
Right? So they have injury problems. Their first round pick didn't work out in quarterback. So now they're doing the thing with Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And they're making it work.
Right. So
you got to make it work. It was Aretha Franklin that said you got to use what you got to get what you want.
I'm just thinking about stuff like the over the hump type stuff. I feel like with certain 5 stars, even with what we got now, it just changes the dynamics of everything.
One player.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like one player can just make the whole team's mindset go. Yeah. Like just because they know they can lean on somebody. I don't think Nebraska, obviously we don't got that. Especially with like receivers. I mean, we ain't even going.
Then all the injuries. All the guys. Xavier Betts we talked about last week not being in the lineup.
He could have been.
Isaiah Castaneda, he's out of the lineup.
My thing with Xavier is this. I feel like Xavier had the athletic talent, but I don't think the leadership was there. You know, but I think his ability could uplift the team in general. Yeah. I just think. I mean, not trying to say like. Not on some Coach Prime stuff, but we like a few guys away from being a different ball club. Yeah. To me.
Yeah, and they are too. I mean, if you look at Colorado, they're so far away in terms of offensive and defensive line that you play against a team like Arizona State, which is they're kind of a mess as well.
Yeah.
Arizona State had every chance to win that game at the end.
They did.
Because they had a chance to be able to move the ball.
Right.
It's like look at USC right now.
Yep.
USC can't stop you and me.
No.
I mean, they can't stop anybody.
Yeah, right.
And so now they get Notre Dame, a team that's really beat up.
Exactly.
And maybe, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame.
With Colorado, I was like, it just shows how they definitely need some guys. Because ain't no way.
And Travis Hunter's still out.
True.
You mentioned 5 stars.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a guy
that's
that
my
makes
point.
a difference.
Yeah, I forgot about no shade. I forgot about him.
He makes a difference.
When he coming back?
They said maybe this week.
Hey, man.
There's a chance that maybe this week he comes back. A couple things more about Nebraska. Yep. Big plays are very important. So the way big plays are defined is plays over 10 yards, okay?
Yep.
Nebraska is 87th nationally out of 133. 71 total big plays. The only teams in the Big Ten that have fewer big plays than Nebraska are Rutgers, Northwestern, and Iowa.
But that's the difference. There's so many things that's the difference.
Yeah. But Nebraska is doing well with big plays on the ground. So Nebraska has 38 long rushing plays.
Right.
That's 20th nationally and number 1 in the Big Ten.
Now the thing, now
they're not throwing the ball for big plays, of course.
I say even if you like jump up on the big plays list with the other stats you got, you win 2 games extra. You definitely beat Colorado, I think.
Well, see, Minnesota, I don't know.
No, Colorado, you don't beat Minnesota.
I think you beat Minnesota. Well, Minnesota, you literally have the lead with the ball in your hand with less than 3 minutes left.
Maybe you go 2-0.
And you fumble. I just don't know if they beat Colorado only because of this. I think eventually, despite the turnovers and everything else, I think eventually in the fourth quarter, the speed of Colorado was catching up with them slowly. And at a point where you get to where your speed's not good enough,
right?
All the schemes in the world don't beat speed.
Right.
Look at Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
You can scheme him up. You've got 2-man coverage. You got 2 deep. You're playing you play quarters. I don't care. You know what he's got?
Speed.
Ridiculous speed.
Yeah.
Remember that when Bugs Bunny's plane's crashing and it's like fast, faster, fastest, ridiculous speed.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous.
Tyreek Hill is the fastest person. He has Olympic speed.
I think he may be, but I wonder. So that kid, the Miami, what's his name? The Miami kid, running back. We just got hurt. He may be as fast.
I'm drawing a blank for sure.
Achan. Okay. Achan may be as fast.
Wow.
I watched Achan get in the open field. I think it was last week or the week before, and I thought, and he ran 21.6 miles per hour.
He looked like Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill has the fastest right now. He was measured over 22.
Over 22. Yeah.
Dang.
The fastest one. So the best I've ever seen on the field was Deion Sanders. It's not even close.
Word.
I was on the field with Deion Sanders when they picked off. He picked off Bobby Abear and went back the other way.
Respect.
And I've never seen him that fast in my life.
Yeah, right. He probably running for his life.
Yeah, he was like, he never he was running hard.
No doubt.
Yeah, but he was that good. But so
for sure.
Yeah, Nebraska's got to get better speed,
yep.
and that's something that. As a guy who coached at Baylor, which is a great track team, that's something that Matt Rule's always worked on.
And that's what I'm trying to say. So imagine we talking about Cheetah with this ridiculous speed, but then you got Waddle on the other side.
Yeah, was a great route runner. Yeah.
If Nebraska just gets something like that, even on a poor man's level.
And they have to say, I don't know what this team is like if it's healthy.
Yeah.
Like if you still have Gabe Irvin, that big dude that was sitting next to us.
For sure.
You still have Ramir Johnson. You still have maybe Xavier Betts or just Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, Marcus Washington throughout the whole season. If you got all those guys, maybe it looks better.
No doubt.
I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's a look about you. I feel you.
There's a look. But so this is little stuff, right?
Yep.
If you're going to win games in the Big Ten and you don't have great offense, you've got to win the third phase, right? You got to be able to have a good special teams.
Okay.
Nebraska currently has returned just 5 punts for 19 yards.
So that means we never played a complete game.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Because the closest they came was the defense against Minnesota, the special teams against Minnesota,
right?
Obviously the offense.
Yeah.
But the opponents, 11 returns for 92 yards. Nebraska's not had more return yards at punts than their opponent since 2019.
We just don't got no chance at any.
They got to be able to make
big plays. You can't win with anything you're saying.
You got to make. Here's another thing: -7 turnover margin. It's 129th in the FBS. Again, there's 133 teams. 22 passes broken up, which is good. Only 4 forced fumbles. That's not very good for a team that's played 6 games. 18 hurries on the quarterback is good.
And you know what's crazy? At this point, it's like Coach Rule is walking into that.
Oh, yeah.
But the way that it's looking now, does it look like he's kind of slowly changing that narrative?
I think he's trying to, yes. Yeah. But the last offside, so I think it was the left tackle who jumped the last time Nebraska was inside the 10-yard line. Remember?
I was sick with it for that, bro. Yeah.
My buddy, Ed Hobbs, huge Nebraska fan. Been a Nebraska fan his whole life.
Yeah.
Knows everything about Nebraska, history of Nebraska.
Yep.
Yeah, I see his number pops on my phone, right? So I answer the phone.
Yep.
I had to hold the phone.
Oh, my God.
Over here.
He was going off.
Just yelling and cursing. He's like he was the players. He's like, I don't want to hear about the coaches.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for 6 weeks. You had all these weeks and you're jumping off sides.
Ain't no way.
Running backs are fumbling and because this is the players. This is a player issue.
Right.
And yes, maybe Nebraska should have moved on from more players.
I agree.
And brought in. I don't agree with that. I'm not saying maybe.
I think so.
I just don't think so.
I think so.
I don't believe you can do that here. I don't think at Nebraska you can't just say I'm gonna cut a whole bunch of guys who are from Nebraska or who Nebraska gave scholarships to. I'm just gonna cut them. But I don't think you can do that. I don't think Trev Albertson.
Tell me why though. Tell me why.
Because Nebraska's okay. So that's
that culture, man. We need a culture change
because Nebraska, right, has a reputation of doing things the right way. That's
How's
not what
it the
Colorado
wrong way?
does.
Colorado did it right.
It's not the right way in college. That's not the right way to do it.
It is.
It's not the right way. Why would you? Student athletes. You're taking a student and you're kicking him off your team.
Yes.
That's not the right way. Well, maybe that's the right way for.
We ain't talking about Deion.
It's not the right way. I'm just talking about with teams. There's some teams that can do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'd ever see that at a team like Michigan. Or a team like Nebraska.
But the better way,
do that?
But there's a systematic way about it that I'm thinking in my head. So let me just clarify that. Mm-hmm. So I'm a new coach. I come into the program. Sure. I don't think that you're going to play. I got a guy. That's funny. We was talking about that earlier. I got a guy. Yeah. Everybody got a guy. So we got our guys. They come in. I'm going to sit down with the current players right now, and I'm going to say, hey, I don't see I don't foresee you in the future with much playing time with these guys I got coming over. What we can do is give you an option. You can stay here because you just be real with them. You stay here, you'll be a great this or great that, back up this, back up that. You can always compete for a chance to beat them out, but we can help you still get your education and shop you to other schools.
But that's not what happened. There were guys that found out that they were cut off the team in the media. They didn't find out from the coaches.
Colorado?
At Colorado.
Oh, I got to fact check that.
Yeah, you look it up.
Yeah.
One guy was literally walking through the facility.
And he just found out he was gone?
And found out he was cut. Yeah, offensive lineman. Actually, we ended up transferring to a team that Nebraska played against and played with.
I'm not going to say, I didn't know that. But I'm going to say I didn't know that.
It wasn't done in a way.
But the way I said it is the right way, right?
And this is different. Yes.
Because I had Coach Altman. He sat down with Anthony Tolliver and told him to leave.
Which is so funny because Anthony became such a good player.
Yeah, he said, I really think you should go.
Worked his ass. Was that a motivation thing, though, to trying to get him to get motivated and work hard?
Yeah.
Because you know what's funny? When it was him and Jeff.
At Creighton?
Yeah,
Jeffrey Day.
Right?
Yeah.
So Jeff Day and Anthony Tolliver both come in.
Yep.
And I'm at practice, and I'm like, man, Jeff Day is so much better than
Tolliver.
Like, Tolliver's not moving. He's kind of heavy-footed. I don't know what he does well. And Jeff Day
mobility wasn't there.
He was flying around, and I was like, man. But in the end, one guy worked his ass off,
and the other didn't,
and the other guy didn't, and that's the guy who made it.
And so I feel like I'm just saying this, and I'm not here to try. I'm not even trying to justify. Like, let's say it did go down like that in Colorado. If that was my son, I'd be pissed.
Oh yeah,
it'd be wrong.
Jerry Rice was mad.
It'd be wrong
about his son.
Yeah,
he was mad. Jerry Rice was mad.
His son was on that team. Word.
And then Jerry Rice's son caught 2 touchdowns for a buck against them
for sure
when he played against Colorado. So yeah, he was. He's like, he
got Jerry Rice up about it there.
He was like, I'm marking down that schedule. Yeah. I'm coming after you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's wild though. If you're not doing it the way I just talked about, I feel like you skipping the integrity of at the. I know the game has changed.
It has,
and I get that. I think the NIL is actually good,
of course,
because it's good for sports. But I still think that there should be some type of moral something. Because I had heart surgery, bro. I didn't get a chance to play after my senior year. Yep. And that could be one of them kids you just kicking off that's just walking across campus and can't figure out. I mean, you can put them in a situation where they might not be able to graduate. Maybe they might not have the motivation to graduate after you just.
Because they're away from the team.
You feel me?
That could be tough, yeah. The only thing, when I look at the portal, and we're going to take a break because we got to get to Thomas Fidone. The only thing that saddens me about the portal is that they've been guys throughout history that have been backups for whatever reason and stayed. And then because of that, they end up becoming starters and they become great.
But that's the old.
But it's still. I mean, it's happened just recently. It's still happening now.
Before.
Look at Jalen Hurts. I mean, look at Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts gets benched
30 for 30, man.
And he wins the game for him. So I am going to miss that. I'm going to miss the fact that there's going to be some guys who stick it out and end up becoming great
for sure
because they stayed there.
Yeah.
But I don't hold anything against them leaving, especially quarterbacks. There's only one guy that can be quarterback, so I get that.
Hey, just real quick.
The only thing about
real quick, randomly. That's why I'm excited for Josiah Dotzler.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's a guy that works his ass off.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's gotten taller. He can dunk between the legs. I can't believe it. But like, I just think that there's naysayers with him, and I am excited to see how this is gonna play out.
I can't believe that because he plays such good defense.
Yeah, he nice.
And he's a floor leader.
He can shoot. He can guard.
Okay.
He can do it all.
I got complete confidence. Only thing problem with that kid is his hair, man. You gotta get that under control. Anyway,
nah, man.
I told
man.
I said you gonna get that.
I got a question. Why they hate on me?
He got that Luther. You know, it's not quite.
This dude funny. Old school. Old school.
We'll take a break when we come back. Joining us will be the Iowa great.
The Iowa great.
I mean, this is a guy who was the number one player in the state. He was the number one tight end in his class.
Yes, sir.
And finally, he's healthy. Thomas Fidone, when we come back here on Let It Fly Show.
I forgot the sausage. Oh my God. Perfect.
Holy, what's the pitch?
There he goes. There he goes. He got it. I want a Sunday.
All right, welcome back to the Let It Fly Show. Time for our weekly interview. Of course, Josh Jones, Michael Severe, and joining us, former Lewis Central star, number one player in Iowa.
Not star,
and
legend.
Legend. That's right. Thomas Fidone joining us here on Let It Fly Show. We appreciate you coming down, man.
Appreciate you having me.
What are you doing for the bye week? I mean, I know you guys still got to practice and stuff, but anything special you doing for the bye week?
Nah, just
go home.
Yeah, go home.
Yeah,
man.
I knew it something like that.
Yeah. Got some days off, so we're going home. We didn't have much of a bye week. It was pretty physical week. So
I bet.
I got some days off.
Trying to get better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey, did you always want to be a Husker?
I did. It kind of changed obviously when recruiting happened, but
sure.
Yeah, I was basically born in a Husker outfit. I mean, I got pictures of me in a Husker uniform when I was like 3.
So you live in a dream.
Oh yeah,
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you mentioned before we came on air, we had Gabe Irvin on. He was talking about the injuries and overcoming them and how he knows he's going to be better because of them. What's your thought pattern with the injuries you had to go through, what you've had to deal with for more than 2 years?
Yeah, really the same exact thing. I mean, yeah, me and him share a similar mindset. We shared a lot of time together. Obviously, living together for like 3 years. Yeah, it's overcoming injuries. I mean, it's nothing. I wouldn't take it back, honestly. The injuries that I got, even if I could, I wouldn't take them back. I think I'm better mentally and physically from it, and I've learned a lot about myself. And just kind of the journey it's taken me on. I wouldn't have obviously been on it. Hopefully, this is the adversity that I'm going to experience. This is it, and then I'll have a successful path from now on.
Sure.
What's Matt Rule like? I mean, don't be one of those players that just say the nice things. Like, I'm not saying a bad dude, but like, what's your honest perspective of Coach Rule?
You think of when he put you out there Sunday in pads?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, yeah.
What was that feeling like?
I think. I mean, obviously, at first, all of us were like, kind of shell shocked. Like, none of us were expecting, that at all. I mean, Sundays there's usually like it's a practice, but it's like we're in our shells. Like, it's like we call them spiders.
Yeah.
It's like soft pads, everything.
Right.
We don't have no pads really on our legs. It's really more of like a fast walkthrough, kind of, just kind of get our feet back under it, get the blood
burn
moving.
off that lactic acid you built up. Yeah, sure, I get that.
But no, Sunday, no, it was a full full go deal.
Right.
Honestly though, it did help us a lot, especially from like, it's kind of getting more of like an edge, like these things can't happen to us. I guess not more of an edge, but bringing it out of us. I think we're like, we can't go in there and lay an egg. Like, that's not who we are. It's not what we do. It's not our team. So I think that helped us kind of take the next step. And you see it. We definitely have seen it since then.
Thomas Fidone joining us on Let It Fly Show. So Jamar Chase a couple weeks ago told his team for the Bengals, he goes, "I'm always open."
Oh yeah.
Are you always open? I mean, with your length and the wingspan and everything, I mean, it's hard. Even if somebody's covering you, you're open, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you
should have more than you already have in terms of the catches and the yards.
I'm not going to say anything, man.
I'm thinking you got 12 catches, 157 yards, maybe like 18 catches, 200 yards, no touchdown.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would love for all the opportunities, but whatever I got to do to, get our team that W.
No doubt.
For sure. What about like the history all the way to this point with the Huskers? We talk a lot about the past, but not in the sense of the winning seasons and things, but just the general past. What about now can you tell us to make you feel like we're moving in the right direction?
I think just I mean, obviously, the first thing I'd say is like the culture. Culture's a lot different.
Yeah, talk about that. How? Like how?
So like, oh God. Instead, if things are optional, I mean, I guess this is how
I know what you're saying.
When I got here, or the year before I got here, there was supposed to be a bowl game. We could have went to a bowl game.
They chose not to,
and people would have chosen not to.
Yeah.
If that was to happen, now we had that option. There would be
everybody play.
No, like it wouldn't even be like a thought. Like everyone's playing. Like it's not even like it wouldn't even be an option. You know what I mean? Like that, where everyone's playing. That's really one of the best ways I can say it is like everyone. You know, we all just want to like win. We want to be the team that turns it around, sets it around.
Sure.
You know, and then we'll be the team that make almost not makes history, but is remembered for bringing Nebraska back because the fans how the Nebraska fans are. I mean, the little things are huge to them. So I think
I always tell him I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, bro.
Yeah,
I always say that.
It's hard not to. It's hard not to. But yeah, that's probably one of the biggest ways. It's the culture and players, and we just want to win, and you can feel it. When you walk in the doors.
I want to go back to Lewis Central because I know you said you basically had your Husker uniforms on and you're going to be a Husker. But it's got to be tough when teams like LSU.
That's crazy.
And all these big name teams
in your position
are recruiting you, giving you opportunity to go to places that are challenging for national championships. Was there a little bit of a pull for that at all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, LSU was one of my top places. I had a great relationship with, Coach O and Tyler, his son. He was the one who kind of recruited me because he kind of coached tight ends. And then the person who offered me from LSU, Demetric D. Warren, he's not even there, I don't think, anymore. I think he went somewhere else, but so he could he offered me and they kept the offer or whatnot. But obviously those places are all fun, and I had visits to all of them, but then COVID kind of ruined. That took that away. I didn't get to have a lot of those experiences like the All American Bowl, Poly Bowl, my OVs, my official OVs.
Yeah, Iowa, LSU, Michigan, Notre Dame, Penn State.
Yep.
I mean Iowa's put out more great tight ends than almost anybody, and we know how good those other schools all are.
Yeah.
That'd be tough.
So obviously you want to go pro. What about Nebraska? Was the conversations about before to help you reach your goals?
Yeah, so I'd say the biggest thing when I was getting recruited to Nebraska, I would say Coach Becton. He was the tight ends coach.
Pops, man.
And that dude, man, that dude's insane.
Yeah.
He's a legend. I mean, even back at UCF, he got posters hanging up. He's in the Hall of Fame at UCF.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in touch. I just talked to him on Sunday.
I wish they'd have kept him.
Oh man,
I really wish they'd have kept him.
No, I love him.
Such a good recruiter too.
Yeah, he's like a father figure in a way. I mean, shoot, yeah, I wish he was always just around just because of the relationship that me and him had.
Yeah.
But no, that's probably the biggest reason is because he developed players. He develops, and he had a lot of guys in the NFL, and he coached defense, which was huge because he knows what the defense. He could teach you the defense, so you know how to kind of do things off of it.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I mean. That's really that is the biggest reason I committed to Nebraska is Coach Beck.
A follow-up question. So when Coach Frost was there, what was the temperament of the team? Like obviously a lot of things unveiled in the media and things like that, but day to day, how did you feel being a part of that culture?
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I love Frost too. I don't know what. There was so much stuff that came out that no one knows what's real, what's not real.
Yeah.
And I don't have any different feeling on Coach Frost. I still like him a lot. Obviously, I have that love for him, and that connection that we had from recruiting and as a coach. But obviously, it's a totally different atmosphere just because it's totally different coaching styles. Coach Frost got his coaching style more from Coach Osborne.
Yep.
Yeah. And Coach Osborne is he's not like a yeller, really.
No, not at all.
So that's kind of how Frost is. He wanted us to be a player-led team, not a coach-led team. And we did things. We did a bunch of things, to try to make that happen. And it just didn't work out.
Sure.
But it's not like anyone's certain fault. In my opinion,
Was there a chance that you was up out of there once you heard about the coaching changes and things? You think about the other schools, or you are going to try to, stay Huskers or what?
Well, I mean, I always wanted to stay. I always wanted to stay in Nebraska. There's not really ever a thought, but obviously you always have to kind of, feel it out, see what's going on, what your best options are. But like when I kind of found out Coach Beckton left, or Coach Beckton, wasn't going to be there anymore, and then I talked to Coach Rule, and then he kind of like we talked about like everything and kind of like what he sees from me and where I could help this team and everything like that. The normal talk you'd have with your coach or once your coach
about
leaves.
The future.
Yeah, but that's when I knew I'm staying. Like I never, and if that didn't go the way that I wanted to, then maybe I would have looked somewhere else. But I've always wanted to stay at Nebraska, because that's where I feel I belong.
And then Coach Wager, he has to leave as well. It's got to be tough in your guys' room, right? I mean, because there's a guy who was standing in front of your room, and all of a sudden he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, you always just got to be able to respond, kind of what's next mentality we got brought into us now. But
lucky he was there.
Yeah,
I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's coached at a high level.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a great dude, and I still kind of I talk to his son a lot. His son Gage is there, and about like how he's doing and stuff like that. I don't reach out to him because I think he's out of college now. I'm not for sure though, so I don't know what the rules are on all that stuff. So I don't reach out too much. But yeah, I think he's doing pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Does the team consider this a rebuilding year, or like what's the vibe with that around that word rebuilding, or are you guys just going out there trying to compete? Just seeing things from like a certain expectation, not seeing, we got a new coach, we rebuilding, and like what's the vibe about that?
No, I don't think that's how we are at all. I don't think we look at that at all, honestly. I think, we know we have a new coach, but we want to play like, this is Coach Rule's year 4 with us.
Sure.
We want to play like, he's been our coach for a while.
That's good to hear.
We want to win every game out, we didn't want to lose any games.
Right.
So no, this is not. We don't want this as a rebuilding year. It's not like.
I asked that because like you said, the Husker faithful.
Yeah.
We talk about like what we see from people, whether it's Twitter or just social media or general conversations. Some people say, hey, new Coach Rule was at Baylor and he was here and he's a rebuilder. But then there's a fine line between like thinking about the glory days, the 90s, and we want to win now.
People don't have patience, right?
Yeah. So I'm just like respectfully asking, like, what's it like from a player perspective, so I can kind of put my mind where your mind is.
Yeah, no, honestly, it kind of annoys me when I see like there's always an excuse like from some fans about why this went wrong or that went wrong.
For sure.
Like this or
they coaching from the couch, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So it just kind of annoys me. But I think, like I said, I don't believe this at all that we believe this is a rebuilding year. We want to win and win now, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about your relationship with Harburg and when did you first meet him? Was it the Warren Academy when you first met him, or did you know before that?
Warren Academy. Oh, yeah. Steve Warren, a legend.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all come from him.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I met him at a I want to say camp or like a 7-on-7 tryout.
Okay.
And he was quarterback there. And he was just slinging it.
This is like 5 years ago, right?
This is a while ago.
Juniors somewhere in there.
I would have been it would have been like my sophomore summer, because I remember I had a few offers, and you could just see the talent that he had. I'm not sure if he had any offers yet, but I know he was like getting recruited.
Yeah.
But I remember throwing with him, and he was just throwing missiles, and I would always get in his spot because I like I like the hard balls, the difficult. So that's when I first met him. It was probably sophomore summer, so a while ago, 5 years ago.
So that's why the relationship is the way it is. I mean, it's obvious that he sees you, he finds you. It's because it's just all the history you guys have.
Oh yeah, I mean, we got a connection, and it was me, him, and Gabe as roommates for like 3 years.
Yeah, my dog.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Hey, just looking at your stature and looking at your high school stats, was your team just that good, or who was somebody that comes straight to the mind that was like, yeah, man, he gave me a run for my money on defense against me, or who was that rival player or just some type of competition to you? That challenge you.
Honestly, it wasn't even on defense. It would have been someone that more like looked up to, and just because I was young, I was a freshman, and his name's Josh Simmons.
Okay.
He was a great player for us. He had great ball skills. He just had great hands, great routes.
Yeah.
We had a great team. We also had great coaches. I mean, we had Max, Josh, Logan Jones, Center Iowa. We had great skill players all around. Josh is probably someone that I looked up to. Like, honestly, as a younger player than most, is because he was the one who was always, getting like 1,000-yard receiving or something like that,
Yeah.
So that's kind of and that's what I wanted. So I, kind of watch him,
For sure.
They triple teamed you, man. I go there. They're like one guy in front of you, one guy holding on you. I was like, it must be. It had to be a little frustrating at times during the games.
No, it was.
How tall were you in high school? Like, I mean, you tall right now.
6'4".
Oh, okay.
I was probably close to about what I am right now.
Oh, okay.
Besides like freshman year maybe.
You were just hanging off him, man.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
It was like Willy Wonka chocolate factory. It was like hanging off that tube, man. It was not nice to watch. What did the things like the Warren Academy and the personal coaching and that kind of thing do for you to get you better?
Shoot, just the extra time on the field. Every rep, just maximizing every rep that I had, and just getting better. Like, we have this thing called like developmental practice, and like you're just kind of you might not be trying to go like a million miles an hour, but you're just trying to like, perfect that,
fine tune a rep,
everything. Yeah,
for sure.
So that's kind of what in high school I had. I didn't know the word for it or name for it, what we call it, but like that's the way I would say it bettered me, is just having more time on the field and just being able to get better from it.
Yeah, you get a chance to get back and pay it forward to the kids ever? I know you're busy with the season.
We've done like some camps, but I've done a camp with JoJo Doman before, back when he was here.
Yeah.
But I haven't had much time to be able to like, go out and help kids out. Maybe my little brother is the most I've been able to do.
Yeah, for sure. What's your major? What's school like academically wise for you?
Business management is my major.
Okay.
It's nothing crazy, not too bad. I mean, good grades. So
that's good.
As long as mama happy, everybody happy. That's good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because this is, I don't want this to be too serious, but you obviously a lot of doubters criticizing you because of the fact that you've been injured and haven't been, you were the number one tight end coming out. You haven't had a chance to play. How do you handle that? Because social media is a bitch. It's right there in front of you. It's on your phone every time.
I'm not saying that you just block it away, but you're human. So I know you hear it or see it.
How do you handle it?
I don't block it away. In fact, I'm the same. I go to look for it.
Me too.
I love it.
It's motivation.
Yeah, it's motivation.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you must think Michael Jordan the GOAT, right?
Oh yeah, Michael Jordan.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And I took that personally.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I love it. I mean, people think that like, whenever they say something, they take credit for like motivating me. I've seen somewhere like that, and I think that's crazy. I think it's insane. But that's really what I do, honestly. I love it. I love all the people hating on me, because when I'm successful and doing everything they said I wouldn't do, they're not gonna have nothing to say.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right,
Y'all got your eyes on bowl games and things like that, right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So what's the temperament like? So when you lose let's kind of talk about Michigan. So obviously, they are what they are, ranked in the country. Like, I know you guys obviously prepared to win, but what was the takeaways from that game? I mean, they are phenomenal.
They're really good.
They're really good.
Yeah.
And even though the mindset of your team is like, you're not trying to rebuild, and I know that's probably coach's heart and all that type of stuff. To some degree, you guys are rebuilding.
Yeah.
So what type of takeaways did the team take from that?
I mean, we can't beat ourselves and let like the little things that happen like early on. Right away we had a batted ball that turned into an interception, then turned into a scoring drive, and then they had a long drive that turned into another touchdown. The dude had a nice play, but I mean, it's just me being me. But they're a great team. Obviously, they're number 2 in the country. So you can't say that they're not. But I think that we could have been right there with them. If some things we just didn't. I mean, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right?
Sure,
but I mean, I know our team, and I hope we play them again.
For sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Who's on your team? Yeah. I mean, it could be you, but who's the guy that everybody looks to when it comes to like leadership? Like, I know you got team captains and things like that, but like, when you're in that adversity, who's the first responder?
I think there's a bunch of guys. I mean, we got Ethan Piper. We got, Isaac Gifford on defense. Luke Reimer. Nash. I mean, there's so many guys. I mean, I try to be, that voice that, keeps people going. Like, when something's not going right, what's next? Like yelling at the huddle, we got you. Like,
Heinrich has to kind of be that in a way, right? Because he's your natural leader as a quarterback.
Yeah, as a quarterback, absolutely. Yeah, Heinrich's taken that role for sure. I mean, yeah, he's definitely done a great job as being vocal. He's not like an extremely vocal person. That's not who he is. But ever since kind of the Colorado game, he came in there, took control. He did. He became vocal, and that's, you can see him as that like leader and stepping up into that role.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about that Colorado game. The narrative behind it was, I think what was painted was the disrespect on the buff and all that type of stuff. What's your perspective on like the drama between that whole like game and the build up and things like that?
I thought the whole thing on the Buffalo was ridiculous. We do that every game. We just go in and say a prayer, and we don't say anything crazy. It's just a prayer, like this is our game. We got to do what we got to do to win.
Right.
All
You're
that.
not scuffing it with your feet.
Yeah.
You're not doing stuff like that, right?
No.
Like some other teams will.
Some teams do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. They did it against Oregon.
They did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's just kind of crazy. I mean, I think that obviously there's a lot of hype around Dion. He's a great coach, and then Shadur with his little watch shenanigans.
Yeah.
But I think that's
like,
ridiculous.
I want to win. Yeah. It ain't nothing personal against him. You just want to.
He came running into our huddle and like started flexing his watch on Billy. I thought it was ridiculous.
Man.
Yeah. I need to do all that. Like, last one from me. Hobbies, anything you do besides, you got to go to school, you got to work out, you play football, anything else you do?
Eat his Wheaties and play football, bro.
Anything fun?
Fun? I mean, I got a dog. I love my dog.
What kind of dog?
Yeah.
Cane Corso.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like
you're a big
Corso.
guy. You should have a big dog.
Yeah. And then I do tattoos. It's kind of crazy.
Yo,
So you get tattoos or you tattoo people too?
I tattoo people.
How you get
Really?
into that?
Yeah.
Nice. So have you always been an artist?
Not really. Kind of in the winter of COVID, like COVID winters.
Yeah. You found a hobby?
Yeah.
Find something to do.
COVID winter, man.
for sure.
There's nothing to do.
How many people have you tattooed on?
That tattoo, Gabe. Gabe had one. He had when I was 4.
I wish I seen.
Yeah.
So you do it like in the room at the house, or you
trapping, bro.
you got
Come
all
on,
your
man.
stuff?
I got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I had no idea.
You trapping for sure.
That's good money later, man. I mean,
I've made
NFL
some
could
pretty
be
good
great.
money.
And all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Dang.
it's actually fun.
That's rare, bro. Like, I mean,
Yeah, guys cut my hair, but I never had a
what you was on YouTube or something like that, or
How'd you figure it out? How'd you do it?
Honestly, just I bought supplies and I started off on fake skin,
For sure.
which it comes with. And I bought like an Amazon machine, and the tattoo artist at Big Brain Lenny I go to, me and him are actually really really tight. He's actually a dope dude.
He said, "Bro, if you get injured again, I got something for you. You can come tattoo.
Get a job.
I got to knock on wood, man.
Yeah, no more injury. It's all right.
No,
Yeah.
But that's really how I got into
That's
it.
what's
I
up.
kind of asked him kind of what his tips
so
are.
he thought you were doing you showed him your.
He thinks I'm better than a lot of guys in Lincoln.
Word.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not too bad. I did my dad tattooed my
Word.
dad.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Post it on your Twitter, bro. Let
I got
people
some.
see.
I can
on
show y'all
Instagram?
some after this. Yeah,
sure.
I got a different page on Instagram. I don't post it on like my actual page.
So this is something that you actually like gonna like run with, no matter what
rest of your
happens
life.
with you. Like
yeah, I
you
think
like
I will.
tattooing like that.
Yeah, it's fun.
For
I think I will. I try to find time to do. I try to find time to do it. Like when I have time and when I'm not like, I want to like take care of like the important things first. Like be able to handle my dog. Family. We do all that stuff, and then I'll like tattoo.
How many brothers and sisters you got?
I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your little brothers, how old are they?
Well, I have an older brother, Keenan, and then I have a younger brother, Tatum. Tatum's 10 now, I believe, and then sisters are 20. Well, they're 4 years older than me, so 24, and Tatum, and then Maddie is 16.
Best athlete in the family. Who is that?
That's me.
There's no joke about it.
Yeah, that's
No
me.
joke about it at
It
all.
look like you would make sure that they don't beat you too.
Oh no. Cece and Maddie could both have been great athletes. Maddie's still in high school. She's a great athlete. She got some small offers. She got 2, and every offer is great, obviously. But
sure.
Yeah.
she needs to take things a little more seriously sometimes.
She got it, but she don't love it. She like it.
Yeah.
She's just good.
Yeah.
That
For
happens
sure.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Thomas, we appreciate it, man.
do.
Thanks for taking
Absolutely.
the time.
So,
Good luck to you guys the
100%.
rest of the
Appreciate it.
season.
Yeah.
Yes,
And as
sir.
I always say, man, you must stay healthy, man.
Yeah, I
That's all
will.
we want. Put your hand up.
We
man.
need you.
Put your hands. Look at that. That's ridiculous.
That's
man.
either a tattoo
You
or
should-
first round
That's
hand.
like
Yeah.
ridiculous,
First
my
round,
man.
no,
Yeah.
first round.
We appreciate it. We thank Thomas Fidone for coming on with us. All right, thanks to Thomas Fidone for joining us. We appreciate that. Did you know he was that tall?
No.
and you, as a basketball guy, you've been around a lot of tall people.
Yeah, right.
That dude is long.
I always feel tall until I'm around teammates and other athletes.
Right,
Man, bro.
And wingspan, dude.
Yeah.
Wingspan is ridiculous.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, so no game for the Huskers.
No.
But a lot of good games this weekend.
Yep.
USC at Notre Dame,
That's gonna be fun.
long-time rivalry.
They can lose.
Can USC get enough stops? Can Notre Dame, who played, man, a murderer's row of a schedule. Can they get up for this game after coming off their second loss?
They can. I think it's going to be must-see TV, but I think Caleb Williams is going to tiptoe out of there.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
Yeah.
The problem, again, is he can keep scoring like he did, say, against Tulane in the bowl game last year.
Yeah, for sure.
If the other team keeps scoring, whoever has it last, right? So that could be it.
It's going to be him.
UCLA at Oregon State.
Oregon State. I don't got no opinion, man.
I kind of like the Bruins getting the 3.5.
Yeah.
I like them getting
You know why I'm excited to watch that, though?
Why?
Because I'm preparing for next year.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
You feel me?
Yep, no doubt. USC and UCLA for Nebraska next year. You got Miami coming off of one of the most brutal losses in the history of college football. You have a head coach and an offensive coordinator.
Please tell me he in the hot seat, right?
Is kneel. All you have to do is kneel on the ball. Kneel.
What was he thinking?
He didn't want to kneel. He wanted to just play it out, I guess. I don't know. And they fumble and they lose the game. Now, can they get it turned around mentally to take on North Carolina? North Carolina is number 12 team in the country.
Right.
Miami's dropped to 25. It's a battle for the ACC.
They win.
I kind of like Miami bouncing back.
Yeah, they gonna win.
I'm on the side.
It just hit me. It's like Coach.
I'm on the side of that.
Coach redeeming himself.
Yep. Yeah, I'm on the side of that a little bit too.
Yeah.
And then the biggest game of the day because of the rankings is you have number 8 Oregon versus number 7 Washington.
That's gonna be lit.
Which should be fun as well.
Yeah.
In the Big Ten, the biggest game is Ohio State at Purdue.
Yep.
Now you look at that and you go, it's Ohio State at Purdue.
Right.
Let me tell you about Purdue. The Boilermakers have 17 wins against AP top 5 opponents when they have been unranked.
Right.
Including the last time they played Ohio State at Purdue, they beat Ohio State 49-20. I'm not saying it's going to happen Saturday.
Now, I know.
But that's kind of crazy.
I feel like I've been saying this all football season so far. Ohio State needs to keep that same energy, win, because when they play Michigan, it's going to be that much better.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Michigan needs them to keep winning too.
Thank you.
They need them to win.
They do.
By the way,
Shout out Coach Ice and Darrell.
No other team since 1936 has more than 11 wins versus top 5 teams. Purdue has 17 of them.
Right.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Right.
So again, I'm not saying it's going to happen.
For sure.
But it's a possibility. I do not know who's on the show next week for sure.
Yeah.
But I know in 2 weeks, Coach Greg McDermott will be on the show.
I know. Huh?
Previewing the start of the season.
I'm excited about it, man. First of all, I used to be a person where it's like, gosh, I can't wait till basketball season. But sports been popping so much. It's been so good that just bring it on when it comes.
I wish college basketball started in December.
Yeah, I think
I wish we had like this.
Yeah,
football goes all the way through, right? And it's just football, and then because already you guys got to be in 2 separate semesters.
True.
Which is not easy on the student athlete. It's not. And so I wish it would kind of start in December. And I know you want to keep March Madness and go all the way till June.
Right.
That would be happy to me. I'd like that.
No, but you got NBA Finals. You can't do that.
See, I don't.
You can't do that.
That doesn't bother me.
You crazy. Them finals is something different.
I don't care.
And the reason why I'm excited about
I can watch them both.
But the reason why I say that is because now the NBA is like balling.
Yeah.
They starting off with playing tournaments.
There's a playing tournament coming up in December, and that's
Like,
going to be
off the rip.
That's going to be in December.
Yeah.
That's going to
And
be
then you got and then you got Dame went to the Bucks.
Yeah.
You got it's balanced in the NBA.
And you get the Celtics who are already loaded.
It's balanced.
And they get Jrue Holiday. I love when people call him down the radio. That Jrue Holiday. I was like, dude,
hey,
it's just
we
Jrue.
the same graduating class. I played
and
against
Jrue?
him. Yeah. Me and Jrue.
By the way, real quick, that guy is a good man. The stuff he's done.
Got a good heart.
Giving back to the community. All that stuff. I mean, his wife obviously had cancer. He went through that everywhere.
Right.
I mean, listen to that guy. I just want nothing. I hate the Celtics.
Yeah.
I hate the Celtics.
If I can
don't want nothing bad to happen to him.
If I can pick a solid NBA career just off the top of my head, I would say Jrue Holiday.
2-way player.
Yes.
He's going to check you up for the most part, except when he's playing against Miami and Butler put it on him.
He's good, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm with you. Special thanks to current Husker, Thomas Fidone.
Yep.
Extra special thanks to the king,
Val Elvis. Yep.
Executive producer Phil McLean for setting all this up with Thomas Fidone. We appreciate that. Production coordinator. That's his new title.
Was Zach or Mac?
That's Mac Pittman.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then what do you want Zach's title to be? Research coordinator, because he brought up the Jeff stuff.
Research coordinator.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then where's our social media person? Where's Meg? She in Utah? Oh, I'm sorry. No one knows she's out of town. But thank her as well. But normally she is here. So again, 2 weeks. Coach Greg McDermott will join the show.
I can't wait. Coach Mac.
Take us away, Josh.
Hey, man. It's Josh Jones here with Michael Severe. You know how we do it. It's a Let It Fly show.